Greetings, everyone. Conrad from Conrad Rocks. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Easter versus Christianity, resurrection of Jesus Christ thing. I was looking at the Twitter feed. I'll read a couple of them for you. I might even post them. Happy Ishtar to all the pagans of the world. You know, they're wishing each other happy Ishtar, happy Ishtar, happy Ishtar. Kind of crazy. And just want to show you that the Christians are celebrating the same day and pretty much doing the same things the witches and pagans are doing. Happy Ishtar, everyone. Happy Eastern Star Osset is Ishtar, Astarte, Ashtar, Resurrection Sunday. May Jesus, bunnies, and eggs be with you. So they're even making fun of the Christians for worshiping their deity. Just the way it is, man. Let's see what else I can find here. Happy Ishtar, the celebration of the resurrection of Tammuz, a Babylonian god 2,000 years before Jesus Christ hit the world. Yeah, see, these gods, Ashtar, Ashtaroth, Astarte, Tammuz, Queen of Heaven, they were all around way before Jesus was born. And, apparently the Catholic Church had to they wanted to consolidate the religions and have the feast at the same time. But what happened is the Christians start celebrating pagan things and basically worshiping demons is what it amounts to. Now, I wanted to talk about the King James rendering. Now, I believe the King James rendering is most unfortunate. It's the only Bible that has this. I'm going to prove that to you. But the underlying debate is basically this. The King James only supporters, I don't know if you've met one, you may be one. The King James only supporters thinks basically that the King James Bible came from God. And it's in English. Come on. The scripture says we shall not live by bread alone, but every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. Jesus did not speak King James. So we need to go back to the original languages, as close as we can to the original autographs, and find out what the words mean. Okay? Now notice that in all my Bibles, I have the Authorized Standard Version, the Bible, Basic English, Contemporary English Version, ESV, Geneva, ISV, LITV, GMK. I have all these Bibles. So I searched for the one word in all these Bibles, and all the front and the back, and all of them I came up with one word in all those Bibles, Easter, in King James, Acts 12:4. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Now, the King James only people say, well, it's in context. Well, if Herod was saying, if the guy's talking about Easter, he should have wrote the word Easter, the Easter celebration. Instead, he used the word Pascha. Somebody translated it into the word Easter. I don't know why. I even think it's in the original 1611, so I'm not sure why. I don't think that argument is valid. But I'm not a translator. Anyway, Greek 3957. I looked up what that meant, but first off, I'm going to show you the Authorized Standard Version. You'll notice that it's Passover, okay? Passover in the Authorized Standard. Now, I looked it up in the Thayer, the Greek, and it has nothing to do with Easter. Has nothing to do with Easter. It even shows you that the calendar is different. The Paschal sacrifice, which was accustomed to be offered for the people's deliverance of old Egypt. The Paschal lamb, in effect, the lamb the Israelites were accustomed to slay and eat on the 14th day of the month Nisan. Notice the rigid adherence to the Jewish calendar. The first month of their year, in memory of the day of which their fathers were preparing to depart from Egypt, were bidden by God to slay and eat a lamb and to sprinkle their doorposts with its blood, that the destroying angel, seeing the blood, might pass over their dwellings. Christ crucified is likened to the slain Paschal lamb. The Paschal supper, the Paschal feast, the feast of Passover, extending from the 14th to the 20th day of the month Nisan. Notice the rigorous adherence to the Jewish calendar. Now, I went ahead and did another search, and you can do this too, because it's kind of hard to prove right this way. You can just look up, do a quick search in the entire New Testament in the King James, and you'll find that every single reference to Greek 3957 is translated Passover in each and every instance. I think there's 20 some other instances that particular Greek word is used. So that's the most unfortunate rendering. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is I hear people say, oh, well, the word Easter's in the Bible. Okay, but does that give you license to commit idolatry? I mean, thou shalt have no other gods before me, man. You know, does that give you license to go worship a demon? And, you know, just think about it. You know, you're chasing eggs, which is fertility. The rabbit, it's a symbol of fertility. These are pagan things, and you're going out and calling yourself a Christian and doing pagan stuff. So who's your God? Another thing that's funny, too, is I confront several people about this. And they'll go, oh, yeah, it's pagan in origin. But, you know, God doesn't mind. Let me ask you a question, man. Have you read the Bible? How many times in the Bible has God told us to put away the foreign gods? Even Solomon had a problem with the foreign god at the end. Remember that? And, you know, it's you got to put them away. Can you give up the rabbit for Jesus? Can you give up the rabbit for Jesus? Seriously. If you can't, you've got a stronghold in your life. I mean, come on. What is it, harmless? All right, worshiping another deity is not, some people go, oh, it's a harmless thing. Well, ask your spouse that. I went through the motions of committing adultery or idolatry, but my heart wasn't into it. Does that argument really work? Is that going to work? Why do you do it? You don't have to do it. It's nothing Christian. It's completely pagan. Give it up, man. Till we meet again, dig deeper, go higher.